Hi, I'm Sandra from Create in Spain, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about fun foam. Now, I like fun foam and it definitely has its uses, but it can be quite difficult to cut out with a plotter. Regardless of what plotter you have, the chances are if you want to cut out anything which is fairly fine, you're going to have a little trial and error and it's a little more difficult. So these three versions of Boo, in honour of Halloween coming up, were cut out identically. They are all that. Starting off, that is precisely what these looked like. So how did I get from there to there? Well, this one is pretty simple. All I did was I used Versamark on top of this, and then I heat embossed it with platinum embossing powder from Wow, and I got this. But I also happen to know that if I take this piece and put the heat embossing tool on it, I can shrink it, and it will shrink by about 25%. And that is why I went from that to this. So I actually took one the same size as this, which was 8 centimeters, and I shrank it without heat embossing it, and it shrank it down to about 6 centimeters, and then I heat embossed it with the powder on, and it shrank just a tiny bit more. It's now down to 5.5. Now, I happen to think this is a plus with craft foam, and I think it's great fun to do. I do advise doing that with a window open because of any obnoxious fumes, however. But if you think about it, now that this is actually much firmer and it's much stronger, you could actually cut this out in shapes and put it onto earrings, for example. If you just got some cheap jewellery mounts, you could make earrings, necklaces, bracelets, all sorts of things. You could do things like numbers for the fronts of cards and actually have them look as if they're metal. All sorts of options open up. But as I said, the main thing to think of when you're doing this is that you can actually design your files a little bit larger so they are easier to cut, and then shrink them down afterwards. Now these are slightly curved, but if I put them under something reasonably heavy overnight, they would be flat. That's not a problem. One other thing to mention, for example, if I take a ruler and I do that so that I've got a line, an indentation going across my foam, if you heat it gently, it will bounce back. If you heat it a lot, it will shrink, but if you heat it gently, it will just bounce back and the line will disappear. So yeah, that's it. I think it would be great fun to play around with if you've got, as I said, anniversaries or birthdays with a specific number, or you want to make some party jewellery for Christmas or Halloween or something. Even, I don't know, you could do tiaras and things like that as children's headdresses. So yeah, it opens up a lot of possibilities. This one was just embossed the once, and this one I dunked in embossing powder twice, so this one's a little smoother. And obviously if I did it again, I could get a really, really smooth finish. But I quite like this sort of battered metallic look. I think this is quite attractive. So there we are, that's my little guide to craft foam. Thanks for watching, take care now, bye bye.